I mean, let's not hide away from the fact that we've been outplayed again. On this surface, we've still been outplayed, and we have to accept that. But it's a real shame because it's a fantastic stadium. There's 60,000 people come to watch a brilliant, iconic Test match, and I feel for them. They've come to watch Virat Kohli face Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad, or Jack Leach, and watch Ashwin against our top batters like Ben Stokes, and almost feel they've been robbed. They've instead had to watch me get wickets on there, which shouldn't be the case. I shouldn't be bowling. So, that's I think the frustration for a lot of people. And the fact of the matter is, it was challenging for both sides. And as a player, all you can do is play what's in front of you. And credit to India, they outplayed us on that wicket.
सोचा था खेलेंगे 50 लाख 1 करोड़ के कॉन्टेस्ट, पर लोग ज्वाइन ही नहीं किए और कॉन्टेस्ट रह गया सिर्फ 50,000 का। हाउस पे आओ, हाउस पे चलते हैं गारंटीड कॉन्टेस्ट, मतलब गारंटीड प्राइजेस। विजिट houseit.com, डाउनलोड द हाउसेट ऐप नाउ।
Yeah, as I mentioned, in hindsight, it's very easy to look at things like that. We tried to exploit that pink ball, and we thought that the wicket would hold together better than it did. And unfortunately, they didn't have the impact on the game that we anticipated. So it's easy to sit here now and say we could have gone a completely different way, but it was a very strong team, and it was frustrating that it turned out the way it did. I think that the fact that it has been very tricky conditions. You look at the scores on both teams within this game, it has been hard work. It's been hard for some very experienced batters in these conditions to score runs as well. It's not just us that are struggling. So, of course, we can be better. We can certainly be better. And the thing that's frustrating, I think, for a number of the guys in our dressing room is we found ourselves in a position at 70 for 2 in that first innings, and we didn't really make it count. And in low-scoring affairs on wickets that do deteriorate, that first innings can be really crucial. So I think that's something that we will look back on. We'll try and, if we get in a position of strength like that again, or in a position where we can potentially get ahead in the game, then we have to take it. And it's a young group. We can't have any scars going into this last game. We've got to keep looking forward, and we've got to keep remembering that we won 6 on the bounce coming into the last 2 games away from home, 6 on the bounce in the subcontinent. You don't become a bad team overnight, and we've got to be realistic about a number of different things. And if we are going to get better, then we've got to understand there's going to be the odd bump in the road. We're not always going to be perfect, but it's how we respond, and that's the most important thing. Is that we go into next week with a very good attitude. We take the hurt from this, and we apply it in that performance, and we try and use it as motivation to come away from this series with something. I thought Jack bowled beautifully as well, to be honest. I really did. I thought he bowled beautifully, similar to Axel. He kept the stumps in play, and I'm sure he'll take that confidence going forward. But as you mentioned, Zach was brilliant. I think he timed the ball as well as anyone on that surface in the first innings, and it just proved how important it was to get through those first 20 balls. He played with real fluency. It was great to see him come back in and make a contribution. I think he'll just look at things and probably want to convert that 50 if he gets another opportunity further down the line. I think whenever something new comes in, and it's we've not had a big sample size to judge it from, it's always going to raise questions when we have games like this one. I think that like any new format or new tournament, or it'll take some time to get used to it, to figure out the best methods and the best ways of exploiting, whether it's the ball itself, the lights, the conditions, that twilight period, all the different factors that this kind of test match brings. It will take a good bank of experience to understand what's going to work consistently. So on this surface, where some were really turning quite sharply, and then some were really gathering pace off the wicket, it made it very challenging, because you almost felt that you had to cover a ball that was 5 miles an hour quicker if it didn't spin, and then also cover the ball that was felt like it was turning conventionally and as you would expect. So as I mentioned, I think that the thing that we've got to take from it is that they managed to cover that more better than us, and probably actually they put more deliveries in that really challenging area. So on a whole, can we sort of get ourselves up to that level if we find ourselves in a similar situation on a similar wicket further down the line?